Today, we are diving deep into something that might just flip everything you think you know on its head. We're talking about the dark psychology of respect. Now, this isn't about being manipulative or shady. It's about understanding the unwritten rules of human interaction, the ones that really decide who gets listened to and who just gets ignored.
You know what? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off right away with this quote. This one sentence challenges what most of us were taught our entire lives, that just being nice is enough. Spoiler alert, it's not.
And here's the crazy paradox we're going to unpack. We're going to break down exactly why your best qualities, being kind, being available, might actually be the very things holding you back in the game of social power.
So, let's really dig into this question. Is kindness truly the ticket to getting respect? Or is there a much more complex and, maybe a little darker reality we need to face? Okay, so look at this. On one side, you have what we believe works. We think being super agreeable, always helpful, always saying yes, that's what'll make people respect us. But then there's the other side, reality. And the reality is, respect tends to go to people who have a strong sense of who they are, who bring value, and who aren't afraid to actually have their own opinion. It's a huge difference, right?
And this brings us to a really tough pill to swallow. Being too nice doesn't just not work. It can actually cost you. And the price is pretty high.
And here's what that cost looks like in real life. When you're the person who never disagrees, you get passed over for that promotion. Your ideas get dismissed in meetings, and people learn pretty fast that your boundaries, they're basically just gentle suggestions. You become convenient, but you don't become respected. So, how in the world do we fix this? Well, let's get into the good stuff. We're going to build a completely new playbook. Let's break down 7 simple but powerful rules that can help you flip this entire dynamic on its head.
All right, let's kick things off with rule number 1. This is probably the most fundamental one of all.
Think about it like this. It's basic supply and demand. If something is always available anytime for free, it's not seen as very valuable, is it? Well, the same goes for your time and your attention. When you're a little less available, your presence starts to feel more like an event and less like a guarantee.
Okay, on to number 2. This one is all about the power of your own voice.
I mean, seriously, if you're just a walking, talking echo chamber, just repeating what everyone else thinks, why would anyone bother to ask for your unique take on things? True respect comes from conviction. Having an opinion, even if it goes against the grain, shows that you've actually thought things through.
And rule number 3, it flows right from that last idea of self-worth. People are always, and I mean always, kind of poking and prodding to see what the rules are. It's not usually malicious. It's just human nature. So your boundaries aren't you being mean or difficult. They are literally a user's manual for how to treat you. If you don't write that manual, you're letting everyone else write it for you.
This brings us to a really important distinction with our 4th rule. It's about the difference between being kind and being weak.
So here's the thing. Real kindness is a choice. If you literally don't have the ability to stand up for yourself or to say no, then your niceness isn't really a choice, is it? It's just your only option. It's what you do when you're scared of a conflict. It's that underlying strength that gives your kindness real power.
All right, rule number 5. This one's for all the fixers and the rescuers out there. You know who you are.
When you're always jumping in to save the day, you're not empowering people. You're just making them rely on you. You become a tool, a convenience. People respect those who help them learn to solve their own problems, not those who become their permanent crutch.
Now for rule number 6, let's talk about the power of what you don't say.
We live in such a noisy world, right? Everyone is talking all the time. So you know what stands out? Silence, thoughtfulness. People who are always talking just become background noise. But when that quiet, observant person finally speaks, everybody leans in to listen. Pick your moments. Make your words matter.
And finally, we have rule number 7. And honestly, this is the one that ties it all together. If you only remember one of these, make it this one.
This is it. This is the whole game. You can't just sit around and wait for other people to decide you're worthy of respect. It's not a gift they hand you. It's something you claim. You claim it with your actions, with your boundaries, and how you see yourself. It all starts with you.
Okay, so we've got the rules, we understand the theory, but theory is useless without action, right? So let's get practical. How do you actually start doing this?
Here it is, your 4-step action plan. First, actually define your boundaries. What are you okay with and what are you not? Second, practice being strategically unavailable. You don't have to answer every text and email in 5 seconds. Create a little space.
Third, get comfortable with the word no. A simple, I'm sorry, I can't commit to that right now is powerful. And finally, and maybe most importantly, start actually trusting your own gut. Value your own opinion enough to voice it with confidence.
So as we wrap this up, let's just bring it all home with one final thought on what this whole idea of respect is really about.
At the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about learning tricks to control other people. It's about self-mastery. It's about controlling that urge to please everyone, managing your own time and energy, and having the discipline to stick to your own standards. When you get a handle on yourself, you'll be amazed at how others' respect just follows.
And so, that leaves us with this one last question to chew on. Is it better to be liked or to be respected? Because often, trying way too hard to be liked is the fastest way to lose respect, especially from yourself. But chasing respect? Well, that builds a foundation of strength and real authenticity. So, which one do you choose?